Thank you so much, Tsecho. Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of Britain, has proposed a plan to send thousands of asylum seekers on a one-way ticket from Britain to Rwanda. The UK government claims that the scheme will dissuade migrants from crossing the English Channel, as well as crack down on human trafficking. A £120 million investment is in Rwanda's economic development, will be part of that package. But a Rwandan opposition leader, Frank Habineza, has slammed Britain's plan to deport asylum seekers to his homeland. The president of Rwanda's Democratic Green Party questions the constitutionality of the agreement, and he joins us now to discuss the deal. A very good morning to you, Dr. Habineza. Such a pleasure talking to you this morning. You have come out in opposition of this agreement. What are your concerns?
Good morning to you, and thank you for inviting me to this show. Yeah, we are very, very concerned about this agreement due to many reasons, but also the legality of this deal is also in question because we see that every country has signed up on the Geneva Convention to receive refugees, and we all have an obligation to receive whoever comes to our country and process them. And if they have genuine reasons, then try to help them. So that's the first thing. So whether it's Rwanda or it's UK or it's South Africa, every country has signed up on that, and it's our obligation. So we say that these refugees that are coming from the UK never chose to come to Rwanda. They chose to go to the UK, and they passed through difficult circumstances, through the Sahara Desert, through the Mediterranean, those who come from Middle East or Asia. They have suffered to reach the United Kingdom. That's why they chose. So by shipping them to Rwanda, you're breaking that obligation, that right. They have that human right to go where they chose to go. So if you force them to go somewhere they never chose, that is breaking the law, which we have all signed and ratified in our constitution. So I say that if we Rwanda do this, we will be helping or being accomplices with the United Kingdom in breaking that law. And if you are an accomplice, that means you also a breaker. So that's why the first thing that we are questioning the legality of that. But the second issue is also concerns. Of course, they are right. If they don't choose, and some of them have already said that if they come here, they may commit suicide. So that means that if they commit suicide when they are here or before they come here, that means that we have also participated in ending their lives prematurely. And also, on top of that, we say that Rwanda, as a country, is the most densely populated country in Africa. This is a fact which everyone knows. And if you look at our space, we have 26,000 square kilometers. And out of that, 52% is in arable land, where people can have agriculture, can have settlements. Meaning that the rest of 48% is a land which cannot be used because it's made up of mountains and valleys. So we are already stressed in our own country because of the space that we have. And even the government has put up measures to limit how we can build getting permits, because before you used to have 20 to 30 meters to get a permission to overplot. Now they reduced that to 15 to 20 so that people can have a space where to build. Basically, we have also introduced many other measures to so that we can be able to live together. Now, if you bring these people as migrants because they're going to stay, that means it will create another conflict because they will also be part of the system that they will have to settle on this small land which we already have. And be aware that in next 20, 30 years, there will be conflicts on that. So we say that Rwanda is not bigger than the UK, and Rwanda is not richer than the UK. So we think that it's unfair for the United Kingdom to offload its responsibility to Rwanda, which is a smaller country and lesser richer than them. So we say that for sure, in all legal means and all humanitarianism, this does not fit. We recognize Rwanda's humanitarianism that helped refugees who were trapped in Libya, and that one we applauded that because those people had nowhere to go and were imprisoned. But these people in the UK, they are not trapped. They have reached there. They should not be. They are not the one. We are not the ones to help them. The UK should be the one to solve that problem. Even though they say they are trying to solve the migration challenge all over the world, this is not one of the ways to solve them. We say that one of the ways that should be solved is by the UK as a country which had an empire which colonized almost all over the world, is to give more resources to those countries where they colonized, try to help them, those people, to develop so that people don't have incentives to leave their countries. Because some of them go to the UK because they want to have better services, better lives, better schools, better hospitals. So the UK can put more budget from international budget to those countries, and people can drop so that they don't have to go to the UK. Two, UK also as an international partner with the UN and NATO that has participated in different wars, like in the Iraq war, the Afghanistan war, or wherever there have been wars, you know that the UK has been part of that with the United States. They should also try to stop those wars and try to pacify the regions and try to bring democracy in these countries so that people do not have to run away. Because look, if people are running away from the war, let's say in Syria, let's say in Yemen, let's say in Afghanistan, wherever, Iraq, where the UK has participated in, if these wars they have been part of the wars. So people are running away from the wars to come to have a refugee in the United Kingdom. I think they should open their borders and open their homes to receive them because they have been part of the problem that caused those refugees.
I mean,
that's one of the reasons here.
Yeah, and you've mentioned quite a number of very valid reasons there. It is said that the focus will be on single men arriving in boats and lorries in the UK, which would then mean that there would be an influx of men coming into Rwanda. What do you think the impact would then be on the society, the Rwandan society in general?
Well, that's the challenge. Though some people have said that not only men will come, but if it's only men coming, well, we hope that there will be other challenges, of course, because we have had some issues with some of those refugees who passed through here from Libya, who had impregnated our girls, and some of these girls or young women, they have children who have no fathers, and those fathers never took responsibility. So you will see most of that happening, that you get a lot of young girls who would have been in schools or would have had to do a better life, but who end up getting unwanted children and who will have no one to take care of them. So we have seen that happening. But I would say that still there will be a stress for unemployment because, I mean, with the younger people here, the youth, they're already struggling to find jobs because I think we have unemployment rate, I'm not sure of the figure at the moment, but it's quite high even due to COVID. Whatever the case, we have over 30% of Rwandans who are living under the poverty line, meaning that if you talk about 30% living under poverty line, that means they cannot have $1 a day. That's here the big number, and those are official figures, but if you go into reality, perhaps it's bigger than those figures, bigger than the 30% who are still struggling. Yeah, so you find that majority of people do not have proper jobs, they are still struggling, and then you bring in other young people, the deal is only going to be for 5 years. So the UK is going to support them for 5 years. After 5 years, those migrants will be a part of the national budget. And then so it will be a big stress for the country.
And then what happens, Dr. Habineza? What then do you anticipate the effect would be on the country's economy in that case? I mean, even before the 5 years, the UK say they're going to, send them with £120 million as well, which is a nice sum. Put them up, at least find them a place to stay. But there will be an impact on the economy.
Well, I think they say that the 130 million will be put into the economy. It might be to be helpful for some things or development of some infrastructure and so on. But after the 5 years, it will be the Rwandan government's responsibility, the taxpayers' responsibility to take care of those refugees. And as I'm saying, that almost more than 70, we cannot fund the whole budget of Rwanda. I'm not so sure about the figures at the moment, but I think the last time we checked, we could not fund, I think, over 30% of our budget was externally funded. So if we are still resourcing outside resources to fund our budget, and then we're getting also another population to come in, that's another burden to our GDP. Because our GDP, we are not yet there where we want. We are still struggling, as I mentioned. Many people are unemployed and they are educated. Many are educated, they cannot find proper jobs, or they are being unemployed. So you bring in other young people, or those young men or young women who come in, it will be a challenge to them later because they may not be used to living the same way we are living. And they may not be able to have, if you are in the UK, you can have smaller jobs that you can do, which can make you live better than you live in your country. But here, those two smaller jobs, they're up for grabs because there's a lot of competition for those smaller jobs here. So it will be a challenge for them.
Yeah, now we've reached out to the President's office trying to give them a right of reply to no avail. What do you make of the Rwandan government's support of this plan?
The Rwandan government has explained its humanitarianism approach and trying to find a solution to solve this international refugee crisis. I would say that maybe they have good intentions, but these intentions are not well thought. Because I think that if they had thought about the repercussions in the next 50 years to come, they would not have taken up this deal.
Yeah, that's the leader of the Rwandan Democratic Green Party, Dr. Frank Habineza. Thank you so much for your time there, for making time for us this morning. And as I mentioned, we did reach to the Rwandan government for a response, but they did not reply. We are still giving them that right of reply, so if we do get it, we will bring it to you. Up next.